Hey guys, how's it going? What do you think? Do I have that windswept look in my hair? Yes, that's because it's been windy here. And I have been walking around in the wind because I was just at school. Just got home. And I'm preparing to do the movie challenge. The 24-hour movie marathon challenge. But anyways, I'm doing my preliminaries. Showing the snackage that I've got planned, right? I don't really have anything planned. I'm basically going to eat whatever the hell I feel like, but in terms of like keeping my energy up, I want to show you what I got. So here we go. Here it is, my fridge, and that would be 2 Monster energy drinks. Let me pull one out here for you, show you what it's like, if I can get it out. So yes, this one is absolutely no calories, no sugar, none of that. So yeah, I've got 2 of those. One is usually good enough to keep me up for like 6 to 8 hours or more. So we'll see how that goes. But if that doesn't, do it, I've also got Dr. Pepper, 10 bold tasting calories, and Yoo-hoo. Of course, I mean, you can't go wrong with Yoo-hoo. But as you can probably tell, I'm trying to keep it low-cal. But if we need a little pick-me-up, a little sugar rush, I've got Tillamook Utterly Chocolate Ice Cream. This, for those who don't know, who don't live in the country, and even those who do live in the country and don't know, only available in Oregon, the best ice cream in the world. I'm sorry if you think yours is the best, but you're wrong, because Tillamook is amazing. 15% butterfat. Think of the creamiest, most delicious savory ice cream that you've ever had. Better than that. Utterly Chocolate has white chocolate, milk chocolate, and then like chocolate chips in there. Chips of chocolate. And of course, if that doesn't work, I guess I've also got Otter Pops. But, yeah. So if that doesn't work out, we've got some sugar-free Oreos. That's not going to help me stay up, but yeah. Honey Graham O's. If you've not had O's, these are pretty much the most amazing cereal ever. Honestly, kind of hard to find around here now. But, yes, they're made by Quaker Honey Graham O's. They are sweet, delicious honey, yum stuffs. Honey Nut Chex, I guess. Do I have anything else? I got SpaghettiOs. I guess that's about it. So yeah, that's what I've got in the way of snacks. It's what I'm going to be working with. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what I'll be in the mood for. So yeah, just have to wait and see. But right now, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Let me check, actually. 5:19. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go sleep here some a little bit in a second. I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night. Not intentionally, although it does work out for me. And basically, I'm going to go to sleep. Try to wake up a little bit before 11, or a little before 12, I should say. And then at 12 a.m. on Friday, May 4th? I don't know, whatever the hell it is. 12 a.m. on Friday, I will begin the movie marathon of 24 hours. So it will end again at 12 a.m. on Saturday. So there you go. I'm going to try and go see the Avengers. I've got some movies piled up on my phone Don't know if my phone's battery will last long enough. But, you know, the travel time to and from the movie. Got some movies on my phone. So that I'll be watching movies pretty much the entire time. But if there's any time that I'm not watching movies, I'm probably just going to, you know, make up for it by going like 30 minutes over or something like that. So instead of ending at 12, it'll end at 12:30, whatever. I really want to see the Avengers. This is like the only time I have to see either the Avengers or to do this challenge in the next month. The rest of the month is going to be pretty piled full of crap. So, you know, I'm going to have to fit it in there. And I don't care what you say, all right? We're going to see the Avengers, damn it. So as far as my 3-hour movies go, maybe I was a little harsh in saying not many of them are very good because, well, the 3 I have are fucking awesome. Watchmen Director's Cut, Schindler's List, and it's like, you really got to be in the mood to watch Schindler's List, don't you? And Godfather 2. I think Godfather 3 might also count, but I don't really want to watch 2 3-hour movies that I don't have to. I was thinking about watching the whole trilogy, but I just recently saw the first Godfather, and I don't want like the whole movie marathon to be nothing but the Godfather. So, okay, I'm starting off my movie marathon a little bit early. I was going to go from 12 to 12, 12 a.m. Friday to 12 a.m. Saturday, but I decided that, well, I wanted to do that, but my body didn't want to let me do that. So, yeah, when I woke up at around 10 o'clock at night and couldn't sleep anymore, at around 10:30, I just decided to stop fake sleeping and get up and start this thing. So I'm going to start it at 11 p.m. and go from 11 to 11. God, even like the special extended edition of the Abyss, James Cameron's fantastic film, The Abyss. It ain't 3 hours long, but you know what is? The director's cut of The Watchmen. So I'm going to be watching The Watchmen for my first movie, for my first 3-hour movie in the challenge. The ultimate cut is like 300 some minutes. The director's cut, I believe, is 186 minutes, just barely over 3 hours. Most of those 6 minutes are probably just credits. I don't care. Technically still counts. With 4 minutes to go, I'm going to pop this into the Blue Wave drive and get this party started, y'all. Alright, so I just finished The Watchmen Director's Cut. 306 minutes, I believe. Most of them were credits. Most of the 6 minutes. I believe it. Honestly, I think it was exactly 3 hours without the credits. But anyways, I really love The Watchmen. A lot of people don't like the movie. I don't understand why. I've never really understood why. There's a lot of hate. Well, I don't know if there's hate. It's just there's a lot of people who don't really like the movie. They like people who are like, it's okay, but it's like, no, it's not just okay. It's freaking amazing. I'm sorry. I mean, perfect example. I went to see this in the theaters, and I was the only one in the theater when I went to see it. Granted, it was like the 4th week of its release or something like that, but only the 4th week of its release, and already there was like nobody else in the theater. I was literally the only one in the theater for that particular showing. And, I mean, although it's cool to have the theater to yourself, it was just like, what the freaking hell, man? I was sitting there reminding myself of how it used to be to watch movies, to go see movies in the theater. And my experience going to see Jurassic Park the first time when I was a kid, the theater was freaking packed. There were only aisle seats left. Every seat was taken. Every freaking seat was taken. And they were sold out. Oh, you better believe it. It doesn't happen anymore. I mean, in most markets, that doesn't happen anymore. And this, the Jurassic Park thing, that was in a small market in Spokane, Washington. So, no, it's not this, oh, you're just in a small market thing. No. Used to be you could get sold out in a small market. Doesn't happen anymore. Theaters are bigger. People don't go to see movies in the same way they used to. I mean, the theater experience just isn't the same as it used to be. No arguing that. But at the same time, I'm just sitting here watching this, and literally, there's like an hour left to go, and I have to piss bad. And I really wanted to go to the bathroom, but I was like, nope, I have to finish this. This movie is too freaking awesome for me to walk off and go take a piss. I'm not going to miss one last second of this awesomeness. And yeah, I didn't. I held it in, and I watched the whole freaking movie. And honestly, there's a reason I own it on Blu-ray now. I didn't get the ultimate cut. Maybe I will eventually. Like, even though it's going to cost a lot of money, because it's definitely out of print. But I did get the director's cut because I really like this movie, because I do think there's something about Watchmen that most people don't see, they don't get. It's just like, watching films, reading books. There's something behind the art that most people don't even bother to get at the heart of. And me, having learned to watch and read movies, I've had enough experience to know exactly what to pull out of, or what I've had enough experience to be able to pull stuff out of there, even when it doesn't seem like there's something to pull out of there. So I mean, I feel like it just went over a lot of people's heads. Watchmen. You sit down and watch it, you're like, comic book movie. It's so heady and blah blah blah. I sit down and watch it, I'm like, what are the implications of this? And peace as a whole. If peace can only be achieved through such terrible means. I mean, there's a quote from Benjamin Franklin: "He who would trade freedom for security deserves neither." I watched this movie and I think to myself, you could say the same thing about the opposite. He who would trade security for freedom deserves neither. Um, yeah, they have peace, but at what price? They have peace because they're afraid, because of fear. Peace, I mean, is it worth the price of fear to have peace? I guess is like the ultimate question that this movie poses, that the whole thing poses. And that's the thing, is like, not that many people who are watching this are going to get that. They're not going to pay attention enough to realize that there's really a deep freaking message here, and a deep, thought-provoking message at that. So, what do I think of The Watchmen? I love The Watchmen. There's a reason I chose it for one of my 3 hour movies. So, yeah. Well, I thought about it. I was going to do Godfather 2, but I don't really think it's a good idea to watch one of the three movies without watching all three. And I didn't really feel like watching all three in the movie marathon. I feel like mixing it up for this, You know what I'm saying? So, the movie I've chosen for my second 3 hour movie, King Kong, Peter Jackson. I was looking around all of my collection like, there's got to be something I'm missing that's 3 hours long. There was. The theatrical cut of this is 3 hours and 8 minutes. The extended cut is 3 hours and 20 minutes. I'm watching the extended cut, you better believe it. I mean, sure, it's a little bit longer and stuff like that, but it's the extended cut. I'll get back to you on how I feel about the movie after I watch it. But before we start up again, let me introduce you to the snack. It's not really a snack. It's like my first meal of the day at 2:30 in the morning. Ham sandwiches. Delicious ham sandwiches made with Tillamook cheese, romaine lettuce, and honey ham. Have I ever mentioned how easy it is, apparently, in movies to aim with a Tommy gun? So that they got Tommy guns, right? And he's like, stay still, you need to stop moving so that I can get all these fucking bugs on your body. It's like, okay, they're on his body. You're gonna end up shooting him if you're shooting at things that are on his body. Number one. Number two, it's a Tommy gun. It's a Tommy gun. You're trying to aim and be careful with a Tommy gun? That makes no sense. Alright, I don't know if the PS3 is going to turn off or not, because in the middle of the movie, pretty much like, well, it's at the end of the movie, but towards the end of the movie, the PS3 started saying it was going to turn off for the automatic power save. Blah, I don't know. It does this thing every night where it turns off and then it downloads all these updates and whatnot. Because that's what awesome things do, and the PS3 is awesome. I don't know. But anyways, finally got done with it. By the way, that final scene, I'm glad that the PS3 did not shut off during, because, wow. That is a show-off, if anything, is a show-off on Blu-ray. Like, if you want to show people the power of Blu-ray, you show them that final scene from Peter Jackson's King Kong. Granted, I know a million people are going to say, well, the classic's better. I was like, well, it's a remake. For a remake, it's alright, but I mean, I see the argument, and, well, concede to the argument that a lot of the magic is lost. A lot of the awesomeness, I guess, the story behind the story, as it were. But I still think there's something there in this one. Granted, not a whole lot to go beyond the surface, but there is some stuff beyond the surface if you look hard enough. And yeah, I like it. I wouldn't have it if I didn't like it, but I mean, the Blu-ray in particular, that last scene, it makes it blatantly obvious that they spent the majority of their budget on that last scene. All the other special effects, I mean, alright, they're alright. I can't complain too much. But already you're starting to see where it's like, yeah, that doesn't look as good as it used to. You know, the CGI, it's like, it looks nice, and then other times it's like, oh look, I can totally tell there's green screen there. Well, then. But, you know, can't complain. Andy Serkis, freaking awesome movie. Awesome job there. So, what do you know? I've got my 2 3-hour movies out of the way. Let's see, I need a foreign movie, a classic movie, a flop, and my favorite movie. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do for my favorite movie, because I don't have any, like, one favorite movie. I'm probably just going to choose one of my, like, top 5 favorite movies. But, as for the other ones, I don't really want to watch any of those right now. I mean, I got the 2 3-hour movies out of the way, and now I want to watch something just funny and silly, you know, because those two were, like, kind of serious. Watchmen, King Kong, seriousness, and, like, deep 3-hour long plots. Oh my god, I need something silly and not serious to break up the drama, as it were. So I'm thinking Office Space, but I'm not quite sure yet. I will decide and get back to you. Alright, The time is currently 5:48 a.m. Just finished the 2 3-hour movies. Started at 11, for those who might be confused. Let's see. Now, I mean, I'm not too concerned right now with getting all the other ones out of the way first or anything like that. I just want to watch something to break up the serious drama of what I've been watching. I can only imagine how I'd be feeling right now if I had watched Godfather 2 and Watchmen. Or worse, Godfather 2 and Schindler's List. My glasses back on. Alright. Think about my favorite movies. I don't have any one particular favorite movie. I love E.T. I love Big Lebowski, Poltergeist, Poseidon Adventure. I've got a lot of movies that I would consider like the one. You know what I mean? So I can't really say there's one favorite movie, you know. It's just like, I'm sorry, but I'm just one of those people. I can't do it. They're all tops in my book, so I can't just choose just one. I'm erring on the side of Big Lebowski, though. That would be something funny and silly, and even though I have seen it recently, not very recently, and it would be one of my favorite movies. We get that out of the way. But oh, what I wanna be. But I kind of want to save my favorite movie for last, so just in case I'm not really feeling it, or like so tired after watching all movies all day, it'll be something that I know I'll want to watch. So I think for right now, I'm just going to go with something that is less serious, more fun. I got Shaun of the Dead, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but there's one movie, one funny movie that I have on Blu-ray that I never got around to watching after I bought it. And that would have to be Office Space. Glare, not glare. Glare, not glare. Yes, Mike Judge, Office Space. Actually, I'm planning to watch another Mike Judge movie. So, might have 2 Mike Judge movies in here. Whatever. If that's how it turns out, you know what I mean? A smart and savage comedy. I have not seen Office Space in a long time, but it is a personal favorite. Just because I have worked in an office before and pretty much confirmed that everything that happens in this movie is 100% accurate. So yeah, Office Space. Getting ready to go. Okay, so I just finished Office Space, and needless to say, Office Space is awesome. As always, it's never not been awesome. I saw it before I ever had any kind of a position at all in any office or anything. But then after actually having been in that kind of a position and watched people who actually live that kind of life, I was just like, this is brilliant. It takes on new meaning when you can know, when you know for yourself that it's absolutely true. Also, something I thought about while watching it, there's something about a certain play, a very famous, well-known play, that Office Space has a lot in common with. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about, huh? That's what I'm talking about, huh? If you really think about it, Office Space, modern day Death of a Salesman. And yes, I have like this really old, awesome copy of Death of a Salesman. So next up, I've got a few options for my foreign film that I'm going to be thinking about doing. Originally, I was going to do The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari because I've never seen it. I know, I'm a film studies student, and I've never seen Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. We talk about it a lot, oh yeah, but actually watching it, apparently that's too much. And I never bothered to watch it myself, although I've always wanted to, so, you know. Yeah, seen Metropolis, but not The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I don't know why. But I will eventually see it, and that is why I've decided not to watch it this time, because I have a friend who wants to watch it with me. So I'm saving that one. Not only for that reason, but also because there happen to be a lot of foreign films on Netflix that I want to watch right now. There's 1911, Jackie Chan's 100th film that he's acted in. There's also Sangre de mi Sangre. I probably horribly mispronounced that, knowing what little Spanish I do. I think I did. um, there's Secret of Kells. I love that movie. I've seen it before, but I would consider watching it again just because it's that awesome. And then there's also The Good, the Bad, the Weird, which I'm thinking might be the one that I choose to watch because although I love Secret of Kells, although I haven't seen 1911 yet, and the other one I haven't seen yet was Beautiful with what's his face from No Country for Old Men, spelled Biutiful. I haven't seen that movie yet, and I've been meaning to. And every time I see it on Netflix, I'm amazed that it's still on there, and I'm just like, any day now they're going to take it off there. So I'm thinking I really think I should do that one because I've been waiting so long on that one. Mostly because it's so long of a movie. It's like 2.5 hours. But I really want to watch Secret of Kells too. And I also want to watch The Good, the Bad, the Weird. I don't know. I'll get back at you when I make my decision. But now, Office Space, gotta love it. Alright, so as you can see back there, daylight. It is 7:37. I'm about to start the fourth movie in my marathon. I've decided that my foreign film will be The Secret of Kells, even though I've seen it like twice now. And there are movies on there that I have not seen yet, foreign films that I have not seen yet that I really should get around to seeing. I'm still going with Secret of Kells because I really want to see something really bright, visual, and vivid, and colorful, and you know what? That's Secret of Kells. For those who have not seen it, it is an animated film, I believe done by like an Irish company, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, if you like stuff like Miyazaki or like Samurai Jack, you owe it to yourself to see this. It is breathtakingly, mind-blowingly awesome. Anyways, I will catch you later. But before I go, I do have a bowl of cereal. Sugary cereal. O's. Quaker O's. So hopefully that'll keep my energy up. going on into the day and preparing to go out for the Avengers. Alright, so you know how I said I was going to watch Secret of Kells on Netflix? Well, apparently Netflix on PS3 does not want to work right now. It keeps scrolling through the menu, unstoppable. I read up on it online, and turns out that no, it's not a stupid controller issue like that scrolling thing usually is in most every other application. Apparently, even if you turn the controller off, it scrolls by itself. It's a problem with the application. The only thing people have said to do that works is to delete the Netflix application and everything Netflix on the hard drive. Well, now that's really freaking weird. When I looked at it before, it said it had 26 megabytes as the size of the Netflix application. Now it says it's 16 megabytes. You know, something tells me with all the updates that they've done that they have not really done a good job with people who have actually owned Netflix for a long time. I've had Netflix long enough that I have like 2 of the Netflix PS3 discs still. So it's like, yeah, make things easier for new users and then shit on the ones who have been loyal customers for years, right? Well, we'll see if that works. I just got done watching. I couldn't watch it on my PS3, so I watched it on my laptop, which not even a bad trade-off because my laptop has 1080p screen, and this movie is just absolutely beautiful. The Secret of Kells. If you have not seen The Secret of Kells, you need to see The Secret of Kells. The animation is just magnificent. Uh, this movie just puts a spell on you, man. I mean, I tried to show it to my brother and my nieces and nephew, and although my nieces and nephews seemed to be slightly into it, my brother and my sister-in-law were just not having it. They were just like, this does not look good at all. What are you doing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the most brilliant animated film that has come out in the past decade. I'm sorry, but it just freaking is. Like, how can you look at that animation style, see how beautiful it is, and not be mesmerized by it? I'm sorry. What the freaking hell is wrong with you? And no offense to them, I love them. It's just like, what are you talking about? It's amazing! But yeah, I chose that for my foreign film because I believe, well, it definitely wasn't made in America. It was made with help from, I think it was made in like, it says, it's listed on the IMDb page as being made in a few different countries. I think the UK, Ireland, and just somewhere else. Very Irish-centric story. I believe it's actually based on a real story, or yeah, a real story. You know, so it's like real mythology, not reality, but mythology in well, Irish mythology. And it's a beautiful story about how, you know, art really is more important than um, physicality. So, like, you got the abbot who's trying to build a wall, a physical structure to keep the evil people out. But it doesn't, well, but then you've also got, you know, the people writing this book basically who are trying to say, you know, the wall is not going to keep these people out. Eventually, you're going to have to run. The only thing that's sacred, the only thing that lasts, is this book. Um, the only thing with power is this book. So several times during the movie you see that. You see that, creativity is what lasts. Creativity is what matters. And I think it's a beautiful movie with a beautiful message. And if you haven't seen it, then you definitely need to. Obviously, as I said, on Netflix. I plan to get it on Blu-ray. I have not been able to find a good enough price that I can afford for on Blu-ray. It's not that I don't think that they deserve $15 plus. It's just that I don't have $15 plus. But one of these days, I'm probably just going to make an impulse buy on it because really is a fantastic movie, deserving of much more than $15, to be quite honest. And I could tell you on Blu-ray, just seeing how it looked in the HD that they have available for Netflix, which admittedly is not fantastic, just seeing how it looks on there, I just know for a fact it's going to look beautiful, absolutely amazing on Blu-ray. So if you see this in stores, I mean, there are just some shots. Like, there's this one shot that I wish I had clicked print screen for. It's this shot with one of the main characters, and she's standing on the right side, and her hair is just flowing out across the entire screen. It is amazing. I mean, it's just. Mm, I can't even say anything. It's awesome. Anyways, okay, so I got my 2 3 hour movies out of the way. I got my foreign movie out of the way, which means I have to do one that I don't want to watch. I have to do one that did not do well in theaters. I have to do my favorite movie and a classic. So I'm either going to do the classic or the one I don't want to watch next. I'll let you know what I come up with in a few. Just do a little like this. Alright. Okay. So I figured that, I would be relying a lot on my online video rental things that I have. I have Netflix, which is not working on my PS3 right now. And I also have Amazon Instant Video, which recently came to to the PS3, but I haven't tried it out yet. Well, I've gone in there and seen what they have and stuff, but I haven't legitimately tried it out, like watched anything on there yet. And I haven't know there are a lot of things on Amazon Instant Video that I am not interested in watching. So I figured that this would be a good chance for me to check out how it works, what it's like on there. I have noticed that they don't make it easy to distinguish what is free from what isn't free, which I'm sure they do to ensure that they get as much money as they possibly can. But we all know that strategy doesn't work. Anyways, I have Amazon Instant Video because I paid for Amazon Prime after I had a free year as a college student. And yeah, it was discounted half off of the $80 price tag. So I basically paid $39 for a full year of Amazon Prime, which came with Amazon Instant Video, so I might as well use it, right? Prime Instant Video. Recently added. Religious, I've seen that. I've seen that. These are TV shows. Movie genres. Let's go to a movie genre that I don't typically enjoy. Well, I already did a lot of drama. Well, let's just go to action adventure. It's not like I have a problem with action adventure, but yeah. Oh my god. I believe I just found it. Quest for Camelot. I really don't want to watch this movie. I really, really don't want to watch this movie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I'm watching Quest for Camelot. You bastards. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, God. Quest for frickin' Camelot. You. Oh. I just had to go on there, and the first thing that shows up, of course, Quest for Camelot. And all I can think to myself is, I really don't want to watch that. And then I'm like, oh, God. If I don't want to watch it, then it fits the qualifications. And I gotta pick something. So, of course I gotta pick this. The lyrics to the songs are just crap. Half the time they're not even singing, they're just like talking during the song and talking horrible lyrics. The characters are stupid. At one point, there's these freaking dragons that like save the day, I guess, and they play the Superman theme, even though there's like no hint even at like any Superman anything going on. It's like, why are you playing that? And then there's this stuff like, okay, what the hell does this story have to do with Excalibur or Sword in the Stone or any of that? It's like, okay, no. This was not established lore. What the freaking hell is this? Ah! And just the story... I swear it's like it tries to be like a feminist story and fails dismally. It's just like... at every step that is trying to say, oh, women can do this too, it's also saying... It's also like... preaching stratification and the patriarch. It's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't have one and the other. By its very definition, you cannot have one and the other. It's bad. It's a very bad movie, and I never want to watch it again. It's trying too hard to be Disney. Maybe, I don't know if it is Disney or not, but let me see here. It doesn't say, and I don't fucking care. It's trying too hard to be like that, and it fails. It just fail! Okay, so I want to get ready to go by 11. No, sorry. I want to get ready to go by 1 o'clock. Ugh. I gotta get out there by 1:15, so like, giving myself like 5 minutes to get ready, basically. So I'm going to make my next one here, like a real quick one. I can't watch anything too long. It's 11:30. If I want to be out of the house before like 1 so I can get to the bus on time, I have to do that by... I have to watch something that's less than an hour and a half. So I figured, why not make it a classic, since there are a lot of classic old films that are very short. Particularly thinking of the monster films. Particularly, I was thinking of Dracula. That's right. Dracula. I'll come back to you with my thoughts on Dracula after this special message. Alrighty, so just got done with Dracula, Bela Lugosi. The only problem I had during watching it was like the hiss from the really bad sound work back then. Honestly, it was the beginning of the sound era. Of course they're going to have issues with that. You're not going to be able to find a pristine print of that, the audio for that. So it's like, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that hissing sound, the white noise, was literally making me drift off a little bit there. I was like, what? No, Dragon. I was like, Dracula. Yeah. And it was a really good movie, so I was like, you don't want to fall asleep. But yes, past the 12-hour mark here, it's 8 minutes to 1. I need to get out to the bus by 1, let's see, 1, probably 13, just to make absolute sure that I catch the bus. So I'm going to go get ready, and then we're going to go. And I have 4 movies on here. Didn't get the one on there I wanted to. It didn't work. But I did get some older classic movies. So hey, more classic movies. Whatever, you know. It's good for me. It's good for me and good with me. Anyways, catch you then. I'll discuss on the way to the bus stop. I'm on my way to the bus stop. And I'm going to be watching a movie on the bus, probably Orson Welles' The Stranger, on my phone. And then while waiting for the movie to start, you know, and then on the way home, you know, between movies. It's the only way you can really make it work if you actually wanted to go to the theater for one of the movies like I do. So it's just the way it's going to be. You get to come with me at least. Alright, so I just got out of the Avengers and oh my god, had I known it was going to be so long, I would have made it one of my 3-hour movies. Because I got in there at 2:40, so it's like 3 o'clock. Maybe it wasn't 3 hours, but it felt like it, you know. I was definitely in there for about 3 hours. I got there at like 2:30 and I left at 5:30, so there you go. But yeah, really long movie, really good movie. There's always got to be someone with a bike, right? But no, just fantastic, man. I was shocked. I kind of was not expecting it because I was under the impression from the trailer that it wasn't going to be that good. I mean, I was totally expecting it to be fun, like a fun, cheesy little superhero movie, right? But it was so much more than that, and it was so much better than that, and I was just like, thank God. Because, I mean, me and some friends were worried, thinking that, you know, the trailer didn't accurately depict what actually happened in the movies, that whoever edited the trailer did a really stupid, crappy job of it, showing stuff to entice, I don't know, kids, and not really adults who know anything about the Avengers, right? But, and that turned out to be the fact. That turned out to be the case, because honestly, I'd have to say, best superhero movie since The Dark Knight, bar none. And see it in 3D, it was awesome. Honest time here. Sadly, the whole plan to watch movies on the go did not work out that well. I just don't have the equipment for it. My phone, plug my headphones into it, I can barely hear a thing. So then I got loud people poking me on my shoulder, like trying to tell me some stupid thing about the weather, and just yakking on about whatever on the bus, which is already loud. And then I'm going around all these loud streets unintentionally. It's just the way it is. Of course, I'm not even going to be able to hear the movie. I did start the Stranger, which I've never seen before. And I was able to enjoy some of the awesome cinematography from Orson Welles. He is the master. And wow, I mean, even the first 15-20 minutes is pretty awesome. But after that, I just kind of gave up because I couldn't hear a damn thing, so I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. Probably wasn't a good choice of movie either. I feel like I should have watched Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, because a silent movie, all you have to do is read the titles. I wouldn't have had to be listening to anybody saying anything. Well, that didn't work out, needless to say. So I just kind of gave up on that. I might make up for it with another hour added on to the whole fest, if I can make that. I don't know. It's about 6 p.m., I think, close to that. And I'm feeling alright. I still got another energy drink, so I could probably make another hour or two. We'll see. But, yeah. Back to the Avengers. It was worth it. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say I cheated. It was freaking worth it. That movie, I wasn't expecting it. I was just expecting a fun little romp. Instead, I got something that literally just pumped me up. I haven't had a movie pump me up like that in decades. Oh, I'm telling you, man, it's not even a request anymore. It's not even a request for you people. I don't often say this about movies, but I am demanding you to go and see this movie. And if you can, see it in 3D. Because, wow. And yeah, I put my hat on. I tend to put it on when it gets windy, because my hair doesn't agree with the wind. And it's a little windy right now, as you can probably tell from the audio. Anyways, I'm almost home, which means it'll be time to start watching some more movies. I still got the flop and the favorite to complete, so that'll give me something to do for the next 3 or 4 hours. And then I'll probably have like an hour left on the challenge, so what I'll do is probably, to make up for the time I lost doing the transit, I'll watch like an hour and a half or 2 hour movie, you know, and go over the hour left that I would have, basically. Sounds like a good plan to me. I mean, I've only got 2 more to go. I had no idea Avengers was going to be so long. And I'm so glad it was, because I'm telling you, man, how many times do you see a superhero movie that's all about plot, that has a lot of plot development? I mean, most of the time, they try to get you into the action as soon as they can, right? They don't even deal with plot development at all. But here, there's like a solid hour, if not more, of plot. No, there's got to be like an hour and a half of plot development in that movie. And, oh, is it worth it? Because by the time it gets all said and done, by the time the last 30, 45 minutes start to roll, you are pumped. You want to see these guys take on the bad guys. You know what I mean? And it doesn't disappoint. It just does not disappoint. I'm normally not one for action movies or action scenes. This was freaking awesome. You gotta, whatever you have to do, you gotta see this movie. But I'm telling you, it's so good, I can guarantee you it's gonna be in theaters for another 3 months. So if you don't got the money right now, don't even worry about it. This might even challenge, well, I don't know if it's gonna challenge, but I mean, this is gonna be in theaters probably at the same time as some of the other big blockbusters coming out. And it's going to be like, well, do I go see this or that again? And that is the definition of a blockbuster right there. Do I want to see this movie again in theaters? This one, you will. Oh, yeah. It's chicken nugget time. Or chicken fingers, or chicken tenders. These are honey battered, and that is ranch dipping sauce. That's all you need to know. Okay. Well, after raving on about how awesome the Avengers was and how glad I am I decided to do that, even though it was sort of maybe kind of against the rules because I didn't get to watch movies the whole way there. Or rather, I couldn't hear them, so I didn't even understand it. But, yeah. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the trailers, because there were one or few in there that were worth mentioning. Also, there were one or few that weren't worth mentioning. In 3D, the only one that looked good was Prometheus. Now, I get the feeling looking at that fucking trailer in 3D, the entire movie was done in 3D. I don't know for sure, but just one look and it's just like, that looks like fucking Avatar 3D. That looks like the best 3D possible. It looks sharp, crisp, clear. You can tell it isn't post-processed. That's real freaking 3D right there. And, like the shot of the inner cockpits. There's just all these awesome shots. It's just like, okay, yeah. When you go to see this movie, and you know you're going to, see it in 3D. I know I'm not a big proponent of 3D. I really don't think like it's a great addition to any movie most of the time. But if it's done, like if it's shot in 3D and it's not post-processed, as long as it's not post-processed, I really don't have that much of a problem. I mean, I've liked films that were post-processed, but with purpose. Like I feel like Tron Legacy was a good example of that, where it was post-processed, but only the parts in the grid were post-processed, and I feel like that actually adds to the story of the movie, which is what you should be doing with a tool like 3D. It shouldn't just be a gimmick. If you don't want it to be a gimmick, use it as an actual tool. I feel like you could kind of see that in a more superficial way with the Avengers, but I mean, the 3D is so mind-blowingly awesome in the Avengers that literally I got dizzy at one point because of how like twisty-turny one of these segments was. I was just like, whoa, my eyes can't even keep up with that. So obviously, if you're prone to get headaches with 3D, or if you just can't see it at all, don't even bother. But otherwise, definitely want to see that one in 3D. And Prometheus, just from the trailer, I can tell you want to see that one in 3D. One you don't probably want to see in 3D, Frankenweenie. And I'm really upset about that because I was really looking forward to that because I'm a big fan of the original. And I'm like, okay, Tim Burton came back. He's doing Frankenweenie. Whole movie. Badass. I don't care how weird he's gotten in the past few years. I'm still a big Tim Burton fan. You can't pull me away from the Burton. I'm sorry. I know his love affair with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. I get it. I understand completely. I don't fucking care. His films are still entertaining. But at the same time, I'm just like watching this trailer, like, finally, they're showing a full freaking trailer, and I can tell all my friends about it and be like, see, I told you it was going to be good. And I'm sitting there watching it like, they're going through the setup for the story, like, okay, telling the story basically that the original Frankenweenie told. And they get past it, I'm like, and at that point I'm like, yes, sweet, it's everything I wanted it to be. And then they get past it, and it's just like, suddenly this turned into a DreamWorks movie, or maybe Sony Animation. It felt like afterwards the writing was just really off. And granted, it's just a trailer, I don't know for sure, but some of the stupid jokes they were showing there was just like, I understand it's marketed towards families and kids and stuff like that, but it didn't seem like twisted humor at all. It felt tame, like very tame by Tim Burton standards. And honestly, it did not excite me for the movie. And it's like, if that's what most of the movie is going to be, I don't know if I even want to see it. And I don't think this was 3D. It was probably processed, because the only thing that stood out in the movie in the trailer as being 3D was the text. That's a good indicator to you. That should be a good indicator to you about whether something actually, is it post-processed or actually shot in 3D? If the only thing 3D in the freaking trailer is the text, then you know it was post-processed. Because it's easy to make text look 3D. But the actual video image, nah. But anyways, I digress. It's about almost 6:30. I'm going to start with my flop. I've chosen actually a cult-ish sort of film. Not a cult classic yet. It recently came out, like 5 years ago. 5 or 6, something like that. But Idiocracy. I really love Idiocracy. I feel like it's going to be one of those classics that you just can't live without in the years to come. But originally it didn't do too well in the box office. It made like $450,000. That is what I would consider a huge freaking flop. Obviously in the aftermarket it's done a lot better. I told you I was going to watch another Mike Judge film. There you go. It is Idiocracy for my flop. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Alright, so I just got done with Idiocracy. Definitely starting to feel the 24 hours starting to set in because it's almost 8 o'clock, which means over the 20-hour mark. I'm at like 21 right now. My brain is fried. But, yeah. Perfect time to watch something like Idiocracy, right? You don't really need too many brain cells for that one. But, yeah. I like Idiocracy because it's got electrolytes. And that's what plants crave. No, I like it because it's like, you see a lot of that stuff happening today. It's creepy. It's like, it's foreboding. It's like, you know, as stupid as it sounds, could actually happen. And that's kind of creepy. And hilarious at the same time. But anyways, since my brain is running on low, and I just finished a Pepsi Next, by the way. Pepsi Next, I liked it. I got it before I went to the movies because I knew I'd need something for the way for the way home, for the ride home. And that's why I'm stupid. Thanks, Pepsi Next. No. I'm probably stupid due to a combination of, like, no sleep and watching Idiocracy. That'll do it. But no, Pepsi Next was alright. I heard somebody saying, one of my friends saying it was, like, exactly like Pepsi. I don't know if I would say that. I don't think it's that sweet. And honestly, having just tasted it, I kind of think that Coke Zero tastes better and more like Coke. But that's just my opinion, and this is the same person I've talked to who does not believe that Coke Zero tastes anything like Coke. So it's like certain people, they are going to prefer one over the other. He's always been a Pepsi fan. I've always pretty much been a Pepsi fan myself, but when I started drinking low-calorie stuff, Coke Zero became a favorite because it tastes so much like regular Coke. I feel like Pepsi Next is close, but it's not. When you can get the 10-calorie Dr. Pepper bold thing, and that actually does taste very, very close to the actual Dr. Pepper, you get that going good, then why can't you do the same with Pepsi Next? I don't know. But this is all based on my opinion. Regardless, that's my little mini review of Pepsi Next. So my next movie, my last of the required movies, is going to be a favorite. It says choose your favorite film. Like I mentioned before, I don't really have any one favorite. And I've decided that for my favorite, I'm going to choose one that I have not seen in a while. I picked up the Blu-ray uh, digibook for it, but I never got around to watching it until now. Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, directed by Tobe Hooper, Steven Spielberg production. Still one of the creepiest freaking movies out there. Hopefully, I'll be able to stay awake through the whole damn thing. How long is it? It doesn't say because it's a digibook. I think it's somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours. So yeah, we'll see where we're at after these messages. I started off with 2 energy drinks, right? Took one with me, drank one at the Avengers right before it, so I would be totally coherent and able to actually pay attention, even though I figured it would be a fairly simplistic film. I guess it was sort of simplistic, but it was a lot deeper than I thought it would be. Anyways, it's now 8:02 p.m. and I am just getting around to my second energy drink, so I should be able to, depending on how my body reacts, I should be able to, do the next 2 movies without a problem. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my last one. But after Poltergeist, probably just going to do one more movie and then call it a night. On with the show, Poltergeist. Alright. As you can tell, Poltergeist is over. It is 10 p.m. I started this madness at 11 last night. I've got 1 hour left to go. And I don't know. I was thinking of doing So I Married an Axe Murderer, or Darkman, or Beetlejuice. But now I'm thinking Ghostbusters because, well, I just watched Poltergeist, and what better way to follow that up than with some good old Ghostbusters? Wow, do my eyes really look like they're not that tired? 'Cause let me tell you something. I'm tired, and I'm running low on this. I managed to make it last, but it's not going to last all the Ghostbusters. I'll tell you that much right now, or whatever movie I would choose. And I don't know if I can make it without something like that right now. I need something. So, yeah, I think I'll just go with Ghostbusters. It's a good follow-up. A good way to end off the night. So, yeah, that would be 10 full movies, I believe. Maybe 11, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 full movies, and then part of The Stranger, which I never got to finish. Alright. 24 hours, 10 movies. And just to clarify, even though I've only got an hour left, and technically I only have to watch like an hour-long movie, I want to watch something longer. Not only because it's going to be better than watching something shorter, because shorter movies tend to suck, but also just because of the travel time involved where I didn't get to watch any movies, stuff like that. So, yeah, there's your reasoning for that. Alright, I think I'm going to go get some Dr. Pepper. Still got some of that left over, thankfully. And have that ready for when the energy drink's gone. But, yeah, other than that, I think this is going to be just about it. Review for Poltergeist. I love Poltergeist. I wouldn't have chosen it as one of my favorite movies if I didn't love it. Um, it still scares me and creeps me out to this day. I mean, I say that but every time it's true. I don't think there'll ever be a point in my life where this movie does not scare me because it is just so effective. The music is haunting. Everything about this movie is haunting. One particular scene that always um, gets me, maybe not gets me anymore, but it makes me marvel because it's like you kind of see that in movies nowadays, but you don't really see it as often as I believe you should. Is this chair scene, at least the very beginning of the chair scene in the near the beginning of the movie, where the chairs all get pulled out and Carol Ann is standing there like she didn't do it. She keeps claiming she didn't do it. The mother's like, um, "Oh, you kids, what's wrong with you?" And so she pushes all the chairs back into the table, right? And then she walks away. And the reason the shot's so freaking awesome is the camera follows her as she walks away, and she walks into the kitchen for like 3 seconds tops, and then immediately returns, and the camera pans and follows her as she returns, and shock and awe. The chairs are like stacked up on the table in this impossible pattern that Carol Ann definitely could not have done by herself, that nobody could have done in like 3 seconds. It's just, whoa. It's one of those things that just makes you step back and go, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, what's not to love about Poltergeist? I mean, people talk about movies like Paranormal Activity nowadays. I mean, did Paranormal Activity have like actual haunted stories surrounding it? I mean, the kid who played Carol Ann died when she was a kid. A lot of people ended up dying in this movie. There was like a talk of a curse in the Poltergeist movies. In the first movie, at least. I don't know about the other ones, but in the first movie, if you know the movie, the skeletons in the pool, oh, freakiest, one of the freakiest scenes in the movie, where she falls into the pool, the unfinished pool, so it's muddy, dirty, grimy water, because it's been raining and raining and raining, and like the dirt isn't even dirt anymore around the pool, it's just mud. So she's trying to claw her way out, and it's just turning into mud and glooping, and she keeps sliding back in, right? The skeletons that pop up out of the ground from the mud into the unfinished pool in the dark and the rain, and they were real. They were real fucking skeletons. Real people. The person who played the mother did not know at the time. If I remember correctly, she did not know that those were real. She thought they were props. I seem to recall something about her being pretty upset about that. It's not an uncommon practice, which is really creepy. It's not an uncommon practice in films, but it's still just like that scene in particular. Yeah, why don't you go swimming late at night in an unfinished, muddy, dirty, grimy pool when it's raining and dark and all hell's breaking loose? Just go swimming with a bunch of skeletons, like real ones. No. With this Muppet hat on, I probably should have watched a Muppet movie or something, but I didn't feel like it. Okay, I'm going to go watch Ghostbusters. Catch you after that and give you the review of that and my overall thoughts on the 24-hour marathon afterwards. Alright. As I'm sure you're able to tell through all that Excellent music there. Just finished Ghostbusters Blu-ray on the Blu-ray. Let's just keep talking about how I own the Blu-ray. I'm gone. I almost fell asleep about a dozen times during that movie. Granted, it wasn't like completely nodding off or anything. It was just like my eyes closed and I like faded a teensy bit. But then I was like, back up, Ghostbusters. So yeah, basically I've been subsisting off of this, and there's not that much left. But I think I can go for another hour, which is interesting considering it is now 12:04, and I've been up for over 24 hours, 25 to be specific. So, in your face if you couldn't make it. Oh, what? I don't even know. So that makes 10 movies, I believe. Ghostbusters, how could you not like Ghostbusters? It's just freaking awesome. I mean, I watch it now and I'm just like, look at all the prototypes that you see, that you see you see a lot of these types of characters in movies nowadays. I mean, I was watching Bill Murray and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Robert Downey Jr. and his portrayal of Iron Man kind of reminds me of Bill Murray in Ghostbusters. Just a scotch. Maybe it's just because they're both assholes. I don't know. But yeah, I guess that'll do it since I really have to pee. My thoughts on the whole thing, on the 24-hour movie marathon, are that I really actually kind of want to watch more movies right now. Like if I had the energy, I truly believe I could sit here and watch movies for an entire week without sleeping if it was possible and if it didn't result in me having a mental breakdown, which is probably what would happen. Um, but I mean, I enjoyed it to the point where, I never got tired of watching movies at any point. And I still am not tired of it. As I've always said, I'm more of a movie buff than I am of a gamer. I play games, yeah, but movies will always be my one true, go-to. So, yeah, that was an awesome experience, actually, because I got to see the Avengers, the new movie, and I got to watch, like, a whole bunch of my favorite movies that I haven't seen in a while, movies that I have seen in the past few years, and I wanted to see again. Uh, just a good mix of awesome, and then of course Quest for Camelot, which was it wasn't horrible, but in comparison to everything else, it was pretty bad. So, yeah. Anyways, it was fun. Thanks for the challenge. Hope to do more stuff like this. In fact, the whole day I was thinking of ways that you could do this challenge again with slightly different rules and get different and just as awesome results. So I'm putting it on one of you guys in the community to try something like that out. Maybe I'll be the one that does something like that, poses a new challenge. But anyways, it's been fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for posing the challenge. Catch ya later. Finally, peace. I'm out.